Imagine waking in a dark cave, burning with fever. No doctor, no pills, no hospital, no idea why. Yet somehow our ancestors treated the sick. And they were doing it shockingly long ago. The oldest known surgery is 31,000 years old. In Borneo, a child's lower leg was cut off and they lived. Medicine, it turns out, is far older than doctors. This is the story of the first medicine. And it does not even start with us. It starts with our cousins, the Neanderthals. In a Spanish cave called El Sidrón, one had a rotten tooth, a painful abscess, and a gut full of parasites. Scientists checked the plaque still stuck to its teeth and found traces of poplar, which contains a painkiller. It holds salicylic acid, the same thing in aspirin. Its teeth even carried the mold that makes penicillin. 50,000 years ago, before our kind ruled. They already reached for nature's medicine cabinet. But where did this instinct even come from? Watch a sick chimp in the wild. It will swallow bitter leaves it never eats for food. The leaves scrape parasites from its gut. The urge to self-heal is written deep in animals. Humans took that urge and turned it into knowledge. Knowledge passed by voice, from healer to healer. And slowly, that knowledge became something bolder. It became surgery, cutting the body to save it. Which brings us back to that cave in Borneo. There lay a young adult, buried with great care. Their lower left leg was missing, cut clean long ago. It had been amputated when they were just a child, and the bone had healed smoothly around the cut. This was no accident. It was a careful operation, 31,000 years ago, without metal or antibiotics. Someone knew where to cut and how to stop the bleeding. They kept the wound clean enough to avoid deadly infection, and the child lived another 6 to 9 years. Someone carried, fed, and healed them for years. The oldest surgery we know is also a story of love. But the strangest surgery of all was yet to come. For thousands of years, humans drilled holes in living skulls. It is called trepanation, and it is everywhere. The oldest clear cases are about 7,000 years old. In one French grave lay a man with 2 holes in his head. And here is the part that stuns everyone. The bone around the holes had grown back, which means he survived the surgery and lived on. This was not rare. Most patients seem to have lived. Survival estimates run from 50 to 90%. In ancient Peru, surgeons hit around 80%, better than army surgeons thousands of years later. But why cut open a healthy skull at all? Maybe to ease crushing headaches or seizures. Maybe to let out the evil spirit inside. To them, sickness and spirits were the same thing. So the first doctor was also part magician. The shaman healed the body and fought the unseen. Some of their cures were magic. Some really worked. And a few of those cures still sit in your cabinet. Nothing shows this better than a frozen man in the Alps. We call him Ötzi, and he died 5,000 years ago. His body was preserved with all his ailments intact. He suffered from worn joints and a gut parasite, and his skin held 61 tattoos. Not for decoration. They sat over his aching joints. Most lay exactly on his pain, like acupuncture points, a healing art, maybe older than acupuncture in China. And he carried a fungus in his pack, birch fungus, which happens to kill the very worm he had. A frozen man, walking with his own medicine kit. His deepest cabinet, though, was the forest itself. One plant became the most famous cure of all, the humble willow tree. Chew its bitter bark, and your pain and fever fade. The Sumerians wrote it down 4,000 years ago. The Egyptians used it too, for aches and swelling. Inside that bark hides salicylic acid, the exact chemical at the heart of aspirin. The oldest remedy on earth is still in your medicine box. As villages grew into cities, medicine grew up too. Healers began to write their knowledge down. In Sumer, someone carved the oldest known prescriptions. 15 recipes for salves and remedies in clay. No gods, no spells, just how to mix the medicine. Then, in Egypt, medicine took a giant leap. A scroll we call the Edwin Smith Papyrus. It is around 3,600 years old. It describes 48 real injuries, one by one. Broken bones, deep wounds, crushed skulls. For each, it gives an exam, a verdict, a treatment. And often, the honest words, "This cannot be healed." That cold, careful logic is the birth of real medicine. The moment we started to observe instead of pray. But step back and see the whole strange journey. It runs on one simple, powerful engine. Try something, watch what happens, remember it. A cure that worked was told again and again. A cure that failed was quietly dropped. Over thousands of years, the good remedies survived. That slow sorting is exactly how science works. Ancient healers were running the first experiments, and beneath all the herbs and drills lay something simple: care, the choice to help the weak instead of leaving them. A hunter with a broken leg could not feed the group. Yet again and again, we chose to carry them. That choice may be the true root of medicine. Not a pill or a blade, but the will to care. The Borneo child carried for years on one leg, the skull that healed around its hole, the Iceman marked and dosed against his pain. All of them cared for, long before hospitals existed. The first medicine was knowledge, courage, and kindness, passed from trembling hands to steadier ones. Every time you take a pill, you join that chain, a chain that reaches back 30,000 years. To a child in a cave who was not left to die. That is the story of the first medicine. Older than doctors, older than writing, older than us. Born the first time someone refused to give up on the sick. Borneo, Sidrón, Ensisheim, the frozen Alps. Strangers across 30,000 years, all trying to heal. Reaching for the same thing we reach for now. A few more days, a little less pain, one more chance. So before you go, a small favor. If this story amazed you, leave a like and subscribe for a new story every week. One question, and we really want your answer. Would you trust a Stone Age surgeon to operate on you? Tell us in the comments. We read everyone.